Pull it back, hold it, release it.
More and more people are turning to guns for protection.
Pull it and hold it.
And
Release
self-defense.
it. Pull it, hold it, release it. We're not living in grandpa and grandma times anymore. We absolutely have to be, not only for ourselves, but for our family, be in a frame of mind to where if something happened, we have the proper training to try to protect ourselves.
Benny Cobb, a former captain with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, tells me he's seen an increase in the number of women taking his Tennessee handgun carry permit class.
And one of the ways that you do that is you lock the slide back. Women in some situations considered not to be as strong as men. So we want women to understand that you can defend yourself. Pick the gun up, point it at the target, 2 hands.
69-year-old Cheryl Henderson says she feels comfortable using a gun if she had to.
I shop a lot. I have a catering service. I deliver a lot. I'm out on the street a lot, and often I'm by myself.
But 21-year-old Kenesha Pine isn't as comfortable holding one.
I was nervous. I wasn't comfortable. I did it though, but I was nervous. I was just nervous.
This is why Cobb integrates less than lethal weapon training into some of his handgun carry permit classes. But just how practical are they? I joined the group of women in the class and put a can of pepper spray, stun gun, baton, and Kubaton keychain to the test. First, we tried the stun gun.
Stun. There you go.
This weapon can cost anywhere from $10 to $15. The device delivers an electrical shock to stop an attacker. It's rechargeable and small enough to fit in a purse or pocket, but we discovered the shock must touch bare skin and does not go through heavy clothing.
There you go.
Next was a can of pepper spray. You can buy a small bottle from a retail store for as little as $5.
You absolutely have to spray them in the face. You want to spray them in the eyes, nose, and mouth. It won't work if you're spraying it in their clothes.
You're going to hit anything that's in sight.
Henderson tested the collapsible baton. This metal device can be used as a striking tool.
The one particular that I like is the wand, because I carry a metal bat, and it's kind of heavy. The wand is light and it's still sturdy. I didn't even know anything about that.
Last was the Kubaton keychain. Almost the size of a pin, this weapon can also be used to strike.
Stop!
Like most gadgets, we discovered these less than lethal weapons do come with limitations. A victim must be close to the attacker for any of the devices to work.
I want a gun because I'm too slow. I can't run from anybody. You know, they may be faster than me, but they won't be faster than a bullet.
Get on target.
So whether a woman chooses to use a gun, their hands, or a less than lethal weapon,
Stun.
Cobb says proper training and self-awareness are key.
So you want to make sure you have a strong sense of situational awareness. Put your phone down, be aware of what's going on around you.
Would this $200 backpack save your child's life? I put it to the test with Chip Holland at Gun Range USA in Memphis.
You hate to think you got to protect your kids while they're at school. It gives you a barrier to your most important parts.
Holland frequently conducts active shooter training. He's aware of all that can go wrong.
If this is something that would help someone to get away, if the backpack is taking the rounds and the person is not, so it could give you that moment to escape.
We stuffed the backpack with books and notepads, the way most would be carried around. Then we strapped it to the back of a dummy.
Let's do this.
All right.
Our weapon, what's become the choice of mass shooters, a 9mm handgun.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
What are you expecting?
Expecting as many books in there, probably the books are going to do a lot. And that's where your 3 rounds hit there.
All right, let's open her up.
Made it through all 3 legal pads, got into the book, but didn't come out of it.
The books alone were enough to stop the bullet, so we removed the largest book and tried it again. The armor built into the backpack absorbed all the bullets.
The National Institute of Justice certified this backpack to defeat a 9mm round, but not that of an AR-15.
They fly by and my kids are out here, they could get hurt.
Good morning. People don't appreciate us. You ought to see them flying by. But the children is our reason for being out there, my reason for being out there.
And that's all Flora Wallace needs. For the last 11 years, Wallace, or as kids at Greenwood Elementary School call her, Miss Flo, she's been in these intersections directing traffic.
Slow down, baby.
Spreading smiles.
There's power in. Good morning, Jesus.
And making sure that kids are making it across the street safely.
If it wasn't for the children, I wouldn't be there.
Tiffany McMinn knows the struggles of trying to cross the street with her children.
It's really hard when I drop them off because they speed so fast through here.
That's why crossing guards are important.
The importance of our job is to get the children, sometimes the parents are with them, to get them safely from point A to point B, and from point B back to point A.
The main rules you need to follow is make sure you're stopping when a crossing guard directs you to stop and following school speed limit signs. Those are usually around 25 miles per hour. Ask Miss Flo what she's seen over the years as a crossing guard. You get a slight pause.
Oh my.
Then she'll tell you exactly what she sees every day.
Cars not stopping, you blow your whistle, you can stop one lane, the other lane is flying by.
The job is important, but Miss Flo also recognizes its dangers, especially when drivers aren't following her directions.
Come on, darling. They're calling you. Your job is not important.
There have been crossing guards hurt from distracted drivers. Miss Flo is one of them.
It happened about 3:15.
At the intersection of Graham Street and Faxon Avenue, Miss Flo had stopped traffic to let students cross the street. Not everyone stopped, though. Miss Flo was hit by someone driving a white truck.
The kids was looking, crying, people were screaming, and I'm like, what happened?
Miss Flo ended up with several bruises, an injured knee, and several cuts.
But I'm still here.
And she will keep coming back with a message to all drivers.
Take heed to the whistle. Take heed to the signs, to the lights. Please stop. When you're in a school zone, slow down. And if you hear the whistle, stop. Have a good one.
In Memphis.
Come on.
Sheila O'Connor, Fox 13 News.
Today, and I'm just so grateful all of you.
An emotional and uplifting reunion in downtown Memphis.
Amen, amen, amen.
As family and friends gather to celebrate the life of Reginald Mercer IV, a 25-year-old organ donor who died after a car crash in 2014.
I feel very blessed to be here today to experience both of them together, the heart and the right kidney.
Reginald's mother, Barbara Edmond, still struggles with her son's death, but she remains at peace, knowing he's been able to give several others a second chance at life. On this day, she met with 2 recipients who received her son's organs.
And I'm excited, to be here and to be with them and hear their stories, and how they're doing. And it just makes me feel good inside, and it gives me joy to know that they're doing well after receiving their organs, for my son.
6 of Reginald's organs were donated: the heart, liver, both lungs, and both kidneys, helping a total of 5 people from different parts of the United States. Across the bridge in West Memphis, Arkansas, Reginald lives on through 65-year-old Jerry Miller. Thanks to Reginald's kidney, Miller no longer needs dialysis.
I can walk long distance, and I can get out there and run, and sometimes I, because I feel Reginald is present in me, the young man spirit. Sometimes I overdo things, and I have to say, look, Reg, just old man here too. Now we got to share this body.
Edmond has also connected with Kurt Garrett. He lives in Texas. Garrett received Reginald's liver. Garrett gave his newborn daughter the middle name Reggie in honor of Reginald. Then there is Cozy Parker of Batesville. We introduced you to her in 2017. Parker received Reginald's heart April 9th of 2014. She met Barbara Edmond for the first time during a ceremony at Baptist Hospital.
When you actually sit back and you think that you're going to actually meet the people that were gracious enough to give you their heart, their son's heart, you can't help but to be emotional.
Nearly 2 years later, Parker and Edmund remain in close contact.
And why is it so important that you keep in touch?
By me being a recipient for Reggie's heart, I'm a part of her now. She's a part of me. So it's very important to be able to share those moments with her.
Though Reginald may no longer be physically present, Edmund is at peace, knowing his spirit lives.
Wow.
Stepping through a cellar door into America's darkest period, slavery.
So you got to duck down if you're a certain height down here.
Oh, certainly. But it was a hiding place. It was a safe place.
Elaine Lee Turner is the director of the Slave Haven Underground Railroad Museum in Memphis. This house served as a station on the Underground Railroad.
They're headed north, and at this time they would have had to go to Canada in order to secure their freedom.
Memphis was founded in 1819, a full 200 years after the first Africans were captured, shipped across the Atlantic, and sold into a life of bondage in what would become the United States. In 1808, the U.S. outlawed the transatlantic slave trade, but domestic slave trading was legal and growing in the South.
In the 1840s and 50s, slave trading was booming in Memphis. Cotton was king and the plantations needed the labor. One local slave trader, Nathan Bedford Forrest, set up a slave market right here on Adams Street. And according to local historians, he sold thousands of slaves and made millions of dollars.
It would take a bloody civil war and the passage of the 13th Amendment before slavery was abolished in the United States in 1865. 400 years after Jamestown, scholars like the Reverend Dr. Earl Fisher, a local activist, says we must never forget.
Those were not slaves that arrived in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. Those were Africans, human beings made in the image of God, who were subjected to the horrors of enslavement because of an ideology and an economic philosophy of white supremacy and capitalism.
That Nazi just drove into people. According to the Anti-Defamation League, the distribution of white supremacist propaganda is up threefold in the U.S. in recent years. The FBI says racially charged hate crimes rose 3 straight years between 2014 and 2017. This kind of atmosphere is fueling concerns of a rise of white nationalism.
If somebody puts a bill on the House floor tomorrow and wants to try to advocate to return to legalized forms of slavery, it's something that's always possible. And if you think about the philosophy and the ideology of white nationalism and how prevalent it is, this is something that it would not be in our best interest to rule out.
Perhaps the biggest unkept promise America made to freed slaves after the Civil War was payment for their centuries of free labor, reparations, a promise that died with the assassination of President Lincoln. An unkept promise Fisher says is still being felt in Black America.
If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and take it out 6, we don't call that progress. You don't call it progress until not only is the knife fully removed, but the wound is stitched up, which means the wound is repaired. Repair is the root word of reparations. So the function of reparations is to repair the social, the emotional, and the economic damage that was caused by the exploitation of black labor.
400 years after Jamestown, a reminder that the door to a dark time in history might not be completely closed. In Memphis, Ernie Freeman, Fox 13 News.